Hey, it's TomSkark11, and as you might know if you've watched my previous Animal Crossing videos, I have a lot of builds of locations from the Xenoblade Chronicles games, and since Xenoblade areas are so big on nature, that means these builds change a lot with the seasons. So today I'm going to be going over all of my Xenoblade builds again, showing how they look different in the winter. And if you want to see how they looked in their default states, then you can check out the playlist at the end that'll be linked. All those videos also include comparisons to the locations they're based on in Xenoblade games. Well, except for this one, this is the first one, Sylvalum, Hilal, Meadow from Xenoblade X. I got a little sign for this. So the default state for this one actually is in the winter because of the sand matching better when it gets pale in the winter, though it looks much better at night when everything is glowing. So it doesn't quite fit as well right now, so I'm not really going to have much to say about this one. Just a nice, peaceful meadow. Then going over this way, past the maid cafe I showed last time, we have the Tornan capital of Auresco from Xenoblade 2, Torna the Golden Country. Not the full capital, mostly it's just the palace of Auresco, and a little bit of stuff in front. We have the moats, we have the little restaurant here with the person from the cook-off quest. And it's not a complete exact replica of Auresco Palace, because I didn't have the space to make the full-size Zen garden in front of it, so I changed it a little bit to make it more symmetrical instead, since the original design of it was not symmetrical. I really love all these tree items. They're so heavily detailed, and they also look great in winter because they contrast so much with everything else being white. And because of space limitations, I also couldn't fit the big tower that's supposed to be in the center of Auresco Palace, because there is no space to put anything behind it. This is already at the last tiles of the island. And next up, the entrance to the Spirit Crucible Elpys in Fonsett Island from Letheria in Xenoblade 2. So this one is probably the second most altered by the seasons area since it's a forested mountain. Again, I really like the contrast of the tree items that stay green while you have all the snow around them. If I want to make this area a bit more accurate, but with much more item load that would probably make it inconvenient, I could replace all of the fencing, the stone fencing, with the stone style of the wide display case. It would look more accurate to have the height there, but then it would probably really kill this area with item load. So here we have the statue. It's the entrance to the Spirit Crucible Elpys itself. Very nice, peaceful mountaintop. Over here, right next to that, we have Torigoth's Kloom farm in Gormott from Xenoblade 2. I have some gyroids to pick up that I didn't do before starting this video. So here we have the Armu farm, and the dino screen is meant to represent the Armu that you feed. I did a little bit of updates back there with extending that waterfall up. Not too much, but it just looks nicer now. This is the patch with the Nopon farmer and the quest to clear out the water supply. And these are the metal things that line the edge of the farm. I'm still not sure what they're supposed to be. There's no NPC that I've ever found that gave dialogue explaining what they are. And that's Kool-Aid Lake, or a stand-in for it at least, because I didn't want to fill in the whole lake with all kinds of stuff. Since it's mostly just there to reduce item load on the rest of the island by having a big clear space in the back here. Then we skip over this and over here to Outlook Park. We have Shulk and Fiora out in the now frigid breeze. Not a lot to Outlook Park, but it's just a nice rest spot. Very iconic location. Then next to that, over this way, we've got Maktha Wildwood from Xenoblade 3. In the winter, we can call it Maktha Winterwood. So I've got lots of wide display cases used to make the abandoned, broken down skyscrapers. So this is the area most affected by the seasons because it's all forest. So the trees changing color and the grass changes the entire look of the whole area. The Great Coat Falls headwater. The pond with the camp where the party gets their food stolen by Turkin. And this over here isn't really part of Maktha Wildwood, it's just kind of a transitional area that looks really nice in the winter. And then for the final Xenoblade location, it is Eryth Sea. So this one doesn't change too much because it's on the beach, but it's got a little bit of a change here, and I would say more contrast with the flowers and trees because of the snow. These shell speakers are meant to be the pagules that line the beach. Over here is the High-Entia transporter. Bubbles to give it more of a sea look. And all the star fragments to represent the stardust rain weather effect that happens here. So that is all of my Xenoblade Chronicles location builds in winter. Again, if you want to see them in their kind of default states, then you can check out all the other videos in my Animal Crossing playlist that'll be up on screen now. A lot of those include comparison shots to the areas in the original games they're based on. So screenshots from the Xenoblade games of the same locations that were used as reference for how to build these. Watch the end, comment Blossom Dance down below, and see you next time!